following is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.
Fashion way, turn it to 96.3 FM. We are at the Hampton Inn today, so you know what that means. Waffles.
Potatoes.
You should have given him a head.
You want me to redo it?
Yeah, take two.
Take two, and we are at the Hampton Inn, and you know what that means. Waffles. There we go.
Waffles, 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 waffles,
Jim.
That was 100% worth it.
He's a good kid.
Yep, that was 100% worth it.
We got a co-host today, and Jay Mack, and then from the Springfield Journal, sports writer Bill Well.
Billy.
Hello.
Yeah,
How's it going?
boy, are we happy to see you.
Yeah, it's my annual visit to Lincoln, the radio station.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Yep, as we all know, the Lincoln Railers are back in the Central State 8 this season. After being in the Apollo, I feel that we lost quite a bit of sports coverage, over there. It's kind of limited, and, we had some, Decatur stations cover us a little bit, but nothing like what you guys do, and we missed that a lot.
A lot.
I know you definitely missed it in basketball with the whole Lanphier Southeast connection there. I mean, losing touch out of Springfield.
Yeah, that was brutal. I mean, nothing against the Apollo, but Lincoln Railers were meant to be in the Central State 8, just geographically.
100%.
Competition-wise, rivalries, like you said, Lanphier, Southeast, even Chatham. We lost that rivalry, and now we're back. And what is the Central State 8 now? Is it 12 teams?
Yeah, it's 11 teams for this year. Then it'll be 12 at least for football next year when Quincy Notre Dame joins for football only next year.
Yeah, so that's going to be interesting in football, how they split that up. I know Lincoln, we don't have Rochester SHG this year on the schedule, I don't believe.
That's unfortunate.
In football, so I mean that's good for Lincoln.
That's good for Lincoln.
But with being that many teams, and you kind of see that all over the state of Illinois, even in other states, that these little conferences are just dissolving, and now you're getting those super conferences with 11, 12, and even some 13 teams.
Yeah, they're getting into a mega conference where the CS8 has like 6 playoff teams all of a sudden next year. But Lincoln, I think, has a really good chance to maybe get over that hump.
I think
they can compete with the middle of the conference.
Right. Obviously you got your SHG, your Rochester. Springfield's been good in the past. So as long as they can compete with the Lanphiers, the Southeast, Jacksonville's been down. They've been down. They used to be a powerhouse up there, but now they're down a little bit. So, Central State 8, it's I don't want to say evened out because you still have your big teams, but I think Lincoln can do well in football, and we know we've always done pretty good in basketball.
Well, I think the really big thing for Lincoln is you lost SHG and you basically replaced that with Peoria Manual, who went 1-8 last year out of the Big 12 conference, because it's an odd number, 11 teams this year, so everybody's going to play a Big 12 team as a non-conference opponent. So, I mean, Lincoln, that's like, this might be it right here. This is going to be it, 40-year playoff drought.
Well, last year, the past couple years, we've been right there, and there's just that game during the season that you thought that you could win, and unfortunately, that loss comes back to bite you in the butt. But they're still plugging away out there. They don't give up. They year in, year out, you find new kids, and hopefully, I think 7 weeks. I think football Friday Night Lights is kicking off, and us baseball fans, just MLB wise, we're ready for some football.
So football season officially starts in a month. So we're Cubs, Cardinals. Those teams are dead. Everybody's done with those guys, so nobody wants to talk about that.
Let's kick up some football. So how long you been with the Journal Register?
It's been about 7 years now. So that was after I was in Decatur for a couple years. So I've been keeping tabs with CS State for a long time.
Yeah.
So this year's kind of looks like it's going to more of the same for football this year with SHG, Rochester, and Glenwood as your top 3 teams.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the Lincoln schedule. I think you still got Rochester and Glenwood
We got Glenwood.
on your schedule, but not SHG and Decatur MacArthur.
Okay.
So, but I mean, other than that, all those other games I think Lincoln can get. But yeah, Glenwood's going to be super tough because I'm looking at a couple of twin brothers, David and Jonathan Helm.
Yeah.
Their older brother, Daniel
Dan,
Helm,
right.
he played a season with the Oakland Raiders just a couple years ago. I think he's in the USFL now.
Yeah.
So
He still does the camp with Malik Turner. He still does all that.
and Albert Okwuegbunam.
And Big O, Albert O. So
I'm impressed I could pronounce that last name correctly.
there's no way I could do that.
That does not happen
Just
on
call
this
him
show.
Albert O. Yeah.
We butcher names, so kudos to you. So yeah, back in the Central State 8, I was talking to Coach Alexander the other day. They're getting ready to hang up the banners in the gym. He was pretty excited about that. Just being, because you build relationships, throughout there. You know this, J-Mac.
100%.
And with coaches that you've coached with, a lot of respect, a lot of good friendships. Yeah, it's competitive, but at the end of the day, it's I guess kind of a community of coaches, and he's pretty happy to be back in the Central State 8. And like I said, nothing to take away from the Apollo, because it was a good conference for us to be in. It just wasn't.
I miss Coach Thomas. I miss
Coach
Thomas. Those games. I miss.
Yeah.
Now, the one guy that could have stayed away is Blakeman.
Well, and he's back.
So, Todd, leave. If you leave. Cody Kirkpatrick was a really good coach. They bring him in from Riverton. It's fine. The minute Lincoln comes back in, Blakeman shows back up.
Blakeman's back in
Like a
at
rash.
Glenwood, and so we
There's
know.
Glenwood Lincoln fan that wants to watch 4-2 at the half.
No.
Remember that game with Peyton and Help? 4-2 at the
I
half.
was gonna say maybe that's the one downside going back to CSA is nobody wants to see the Lincoln Glenwood boys
you have
basketball.
to stop every game to clean up blood. You always have to change a jersey for blood, and it ends up 16-12.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's great we win, but Todd is a great coach.
Yeah, and they're.
That's always the same. I'm so tired of it.
So what's Lincoln now? You got to repaint the court. You got the Apollo. You got to scratch that out and get the CSA
you know what?
back
I never
in there.
even thought about that. Yeah, they'll have to redo that, and so yeah.
It just never felt natural. It always kind of felt awkward for Lincoln going to like Mattoon and Charleston.
You want to talk about some brutal drives for Lloyd? My contract.
God bless Lloyd.
I had a radius what I covered in my contract for covering the games, and
Lloyd's agent didn't get him that.
Lloyd he traveled
went
all over.
everywhere.
So I think our furthest drive now is Jacksonville, and it's all interstate. So. It's a good thing for just overall, just travel wise and
The fans want to see
logistics
it too.
and
The fans want to see it too.
Yeah.
Think back. What are the only games that sold out that were big sellout games? It was like MacArthur 2 or 3 years, and because it's a regional championship.
Yeah.
You know of how we do. None of the other. We never had a big rival in the Apollo. Even Effingham
and
with
the
Wolf,
game.
Kids with the Wolf kids that came through there. Those were big games.
Yeah.
Those were good teams. They're well coached. We got some fans here, but nobody really.
Well, yeah,
Nobody really bought into it.
You couldn't really get the excitement.
Right.
They could try to hope maybe there might be a rivalry with Mount Zion, but
Right.
that just didn't really pan out at all. I mean, just like the student section always turned out, but that kind of seemed to wane a lot.
Oh, 100%.
Then we had the game that never happened. Lincoln Lamphere super
Lamphere.
sectional or sectional championship.
We would have walked
and
in by 20.
that place would have been
Put it out there.
That place would have been electric.
That would have been
Incredible, and unfortunately,
It wouldn't have been as good as 14 when they started line up at noon in our parking lots, and the parking lot was out past Coach Al's house, and it wouldn't have been that good, but it would have been close. It would have been close.
Yeah, it would have been.
It would have been
right
close.
up there, top 5.
Man, that would have been fun.
So yeah, so Bill covering Central State 8. Basketball wise, you know who's returning this year, and now Lincoln back in the mix. Just a little preseason I guess, overview, who's going to be at the top of that list? I mean, we already talked football a little bit, but let's talk a little basketball-wise.
Yeah, you got to get back into basketball.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of like maybe Lanphier can maybe get back to the top. Of course, I'm forgetting all these names now because I'm in the football mode right now, but I kind of like Lanphier. I mean, they had a promising player, maybe one of the top players in the conference.
Yeah, he's good.
And then Southeast, they're kind of trying to get back to that top form. They just kind of...
And Coach Thomas will get him there. He'll figure it. By the end of the year, they're going to be tough.
Yeah, they're always really tough once they get in the playoffs. Right. So they've always kind of taken a while to kind of mesh together.
Yeah.
But yeah, Glenwood, that was a surprising thing when they lost Cody Kirkpatrick after just that one season.
Right.
Now Todd Blakeman's back.
Well, I'm telling you, Blake, it's killing me, Blakeman. Walks right back in.
I'm back.
Yeah, Cody was a really good coach. He had a lot of success out of Riverton. He did a really good job. He was. We scouted him. We saw him. They do a lot of good things.
Yeah, they're still fundamentally sound.
A lot of really good things.
Yeah,
they had an injury. His best player was injured for a while, and I think a long while actually. But he got him back, and they did good things, and they were a tough team. But it wasn't the Blakeman success that Glenn was probably used to.
Right.
It certainly didn't look like a Blakeman team.
No.
You know what I mean? So maybe that was just that idea. I don't know anything else that went on, so maybe there's something we don't know, but...
I thought you knew all, J-Mac.
Maybe I do, and I just don't want to say.
Social butterfly, you.
Well, I was going to say maybe Decatur MacArthur, because they were a top 10 team.
Always.
Oh, yeah.
The past couple of years.
Always.
They've turned into a juggernaut. So SHG's just lost all of their starters.
Yeah, that was my next question.
Years.
We know what they've done the past couple years, and so they've lost some guys. So.
Yeah, so they'll be all new faces in the starting lineup. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Because, boy, they were good.
Yeah,
Hawkinson was a ton.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to face Zach Hawkinson and Jake Hamilton.
And Hamilton.
Keyshawn Singleton was also really good, too. So, I mean, just all those guys together.
He ended up going to the Army to play football?
Yeah, he's going to be a receiver at Air Force.
Air Force, was it? Okay. Yeah, athletes played hard. That MacArthur team, they just play so hard. They just are in your shorts for... you better be ready.
I'm ready.
You better be ready.
I'm ready.
Yeah, you better be ready to call it. That's
ready.
pretty fast pace.
Yeah, that's tough to do too.
Yeah, right.
Lanphier was just so inconsistent last year. Where Jaquan Holman was the player I was trying to think of. Once he gets going, I mean, they almost knocked off MacArthur, one of the top teams in the state. So Lanphier's right there if they could just mesh together. And so I don't know. I can't remember what they did in the playoffs, but I know they're right there.
Playoffs.
The good thing about having the Coach Allen, the Coach Greg, and the Coach E, they're already preparing them. What a difference! I mean, it's Mars and Earth. What with Apollo was we can control a lot of what we're trying to do. You go to Central State, we can't really control like we're used to. Like they're already shifting that gear. They have been for a long time.
And you got to remember, I mean, these kids, the seniors now, how long have we been on the Apollo? Like
5, 6,
7.
Seems like 20.
Seems like eternity.
Seems like 20.
But these kids, they haven't. I mean, they may have seen it when they were little, going to games, but they just haven't seen that. It's a different level of competition. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It's just
even going to U-High. Andy McDowell's a great coach. They're great coaches all through the Central State 8. Like they have plans. It's not like you just walk in there and go, well, Lincoln's going to beat us by 20 tonight or whatever, whatever it is. It's even the teams we haven't mentioned, the U-Highs, like they're really good. They're really well coached. It's tough to go into U-High and play. Like these are things you're going to have to adjust to.
Well, another cool little tidbit, Schonauer, he gets the Muhammad job.
Right. My guy Googs. Yeah.
So he was at Paxton Buckley before. Now he's at Muhammad Seymour. I do believe we're going to see them at least once, maybe twice this year. And Neil was telling me he doesn't remember ever having to coach. It's
got to be the first.
Against a former player.
It's got to be the first, isn't it?
And you want to talk about a good coach.
Googs is a great coach. He had tons of success at PBO.
Yeah.
Tons of success. They had a bunch of deep runs.
And he's taken over a Muhammad Seymour team that, I mean, they're going to be good this year.
That is a basketball town.
Yeah.
You know, with a lot of basketball history. And I know a couple of their coaches, their main head assistant is a good friend of mine, Eric. We talk about it all the time. They're ready to be really, really, really good again. I think Adam can 100% do that.
Well, you know,
he's 100% going to go in there and change that. It was a great culture for years, and then kind of fell off a couple of years, 2-3 years there. With the coaching change, Adam's going to bring them right back.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I really don't doubt it. Yeah,
so I think they're in the old Turkey tournament.
They are.
So
can't wait to beat him.
I mean, he's got to be excited too. Come back to Lincoln.
When I talk to him
able
about
to coach,
he's pumped.
Yeah.
We're going to beat him. It's going to be great. I'm so excited. I'm going to text Adam. I can't wait to beat him.
You're going to lose. You can't beat Coach Al.
I love him. He's a great coach, and he's a great guy. And his family, obviously, deep link. I can't wait to beat him. It's going to be great.
His whole family will be there.
I told him I hope he cries on camera.
It'd be closer than you think.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Well, is he going to do the 1-2-2, or what's he going to do?
He says he's going to keep it in his back pocket. He says he's going to keep the 1-2 in his back pocket, but he's a man guy. He kind of went to a man guy, but he's got to keep it. He said the first thing they asked him when they're in there, they're going to buy a house, and they got to get settled. He gets the job. He said that's the first thing people started asking, like, you going to do the 1-2-2? You seriously from Lincoln? You 100% going to do that here? He's like, well, I mean, we have it. I'll teach it. I'll keep it in my back pocket, but we'll go man. And they were like, oh, I guess. They just walk away. Like, you can't be excited once they found out he was a railer.
Yeah,
like,
give me a break.
No, like, what do you want me to do?
The 1-2-2's been pretty successful.
God, it's like 1,900 wins, or whatever. I just, it is what it is.
Yeah, not yet.
No, it's close. It's funny though, he said it's the first thing they asked him, but he's like, oh yeah, I'm from Lincoln. Like, oh.
Well, hey, let's take a quick commercial break. We come back, we'll have more here on the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more
than who I am on paper.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Illinois. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the IHSA and the Illinois Athletic Directors Association.
This is former WAND sports director and humongous Lincoln Raider fan Gordon Voigt, and you're listening to Cheap Seats with Joe, Jake, Jim, Lloyd, and Shabadoo on 96.3 FM WLCN.
You said you were over in Decatur for a little while. Did you ever do any work with Gordon?
I saw him every now and then, so yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get you a plug.
He's fun
on
to
him.
talk to, man. That guy is an encyclopedia.
He's a little on the nutty side, but a good guy.
I was gonna say he has a very explosive personality.
Yeah.
So you got to brace yourself every time you run into him. Like, I'm not ready for that. No.
Yeah, and we got a lot of coverage from WAND when he was there, and it just kind of fizzled out. So, boy, I'm very ecstatic being back in the Central State. Just with the coverage, I know we talked about it the first segment, just the coverage that not alone you, then you got Channel 1450,
right?
Just the exposure. You guys do a fantastic job. Sometimes it goes unnoticed, but I know a lot of people in these days. Do you guys sell a lot of papers? Everything's got to be a lot of online based.
Yeah, we're all shifting, trying to go digital pretty much. So the print, I mean, we don't even have a Saturday paper anymore, which is
that's crazy.
Which is brutal, especially of course you get your Friday night football games.
Right.
Of course the deadlines are super early, so it doesn't matter. But it's all digital. I mean, that's where I kind of
one of the things I don't think anybody realized until it was too late in the Apollo was the next day people would get online. They just put in Lincoln score. Nothing.
It was hard to find any stats, any box scores.
You couldn't do any of it.
You went into a dead zone or something like that.
100%.
Well, it's like, I mean, because you're just playing all these teams that are just completely outside our area, even for 1450. I mean, it's
guys aren't going to go down to Teutopolis.
Yeah. I mean, it's a far drive. Go Mattoon. I mean, super out of the way.
Right.
I mean, you got the original BK over there, but I don't know.
It wasn't even worth covering. You know what I mean? Like half of those games weren't worth mentioning anyway.
Right.
But that was like Saturday morning or Sunday morning. I'd start getting texts. Hey, did you guys win last night? I can't find it.
Yeah, and
dozens.
That's
we won by 8.
Truth.
Whatever it was.
We're used to going in gyms back in the day where you saw yourself, other sports writers, even a camera or two. Didn't have clips at night.
Nothing.
Didn't have that the past several years, and just the recognition for the kids and the parents, the grandparents, just the community of Lincoln. They really missed out on that, and it's going to be great just to get back in that. Kind of highlighting the kids and their achievements. And like I said before, you guys do a fantastic job.
Really good job.
And we appreciate it.
Well, thank you. Well, yeah, it's like with the media, I mean, that helps kind of build the excitement. And when you're just not getting coverage, people it's just like you don't even exist anymore.
Right. Yeah. So, see, we're buttering you up. So we better see you in the gym.
This is how nepotism works.
And Lloyd,
this is how it starts.
Lloyd said he'll take you out for a patty melt. Isn't that your guys' thing?
Oh, what? Frisco melt.
Melt. Okay, well, maybe I'll have to think about it.
Oh, I don't have to think about it. I'm in. Is that for me too? I'm 100% in. Yeah. One in each hand.
So, we talked about high school sports, Bill. Do you cover anything else? I know, or are you just strictly high school? I mean, do you write anything on like major league sports or anything like that? Or are you just strictly high school?
Yeah, we're pretty much just stay high school because that's like the niche and the audience and what people kind of subscribe for.
It's a big audience.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe there might be like Illinois Springfield, UIS kind of thing, but not. Yeah, just try to stick with high school.
Do you cover any like Illinois sports, Fighting Illini? Do you venture that way at all?
No. It's, unfortunately, we used to have like a Illini sports writer, but the company, of course, kind of gutted that. So, but of course, I just follow Illinois.
No, that's
just as a regular just to see what's going on
that's a
there.
full-time job right there, just high school. So
yeah,
and now you've got what would you say, 11 schools in the Central State?
Yeah,
so
you'll be busy.
You got to pick and choose where you're at.
Of course, we got all these other smaller schools that we cover. I mean, we go all the way down from so Lincoln's the most northern school, and then we go all the way down to Staunton.
Oh wow!
So we're talking about like 42 different schools.
Holy smokes!
And all that area.
So how do you kind of choose where you go? Just you go through and see, well, this is the best matchup here, you know, and just kind of
pretty much. You kind of know what's the biggest priority schools are. So the CSA, then right after that's the Sangamo Conference, and then the South Central Conference,
and then the Tomahawk. You know what I mean? Like you go in some of those schools that are in Sangamo and Tomahawk. You go in, you got to use 2 walls to get all the teams in there. It's ridiculous. It's like 15 teams in half a conference. That's ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know how do you cover all that?
Well, I can never remember who exactly is all in the Tomahawk.
You can't. It changes every year.
Illini Bluff.
And then you go to Bluffs. 4-hour drive. Anyway. Enough of me railing on that.
Well, yeah, Mason City and Athens are both in the Tomahawk and the Sangamo.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I never understood.
I don't understand it at all. It's for football in this one, but then you got to have baseball. Whatever.
Yeah, well, you know, a lot of these, like we talked about before, a lot of these conferences are kind of dissolving, and you know, those little schools, they take a hit where, you know, it dissolves too much, you're going to find yourself without a home.
Right.
You know, just the Apollo, for example.
Right.
You know, it's kind of on the down, you know, and you got a couple of teams in Taylorville, Mount Zion that they could very easily move over to the Central State 8 and compete. Well, then your Mattoons and your other schools like that, they might find themselves in a sticky situation down the road. That's just, you know.
There's really no reason a Mount Zion shouldn't be in that conversation, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with the Decatur schools in there already.
Right.
I mean, the connection's already there.
Makes more sense, but, you know, they feel that they have better opportunity in Apollo. And
yeah, you talk about conference changes. I mean, Stanford Olympia, I mean, they left whatever they were in. Now they're in the South Central Conference. Right. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
How many years ago was the Corn Belt a thing?
Conference. The Corn Belt. The Big 12's kind of on the shakes too, I hear. So
really,
yeah. I mean, just internal stuff. And
if you go from Normal Community and then Champaign Central, like, look at the difference there.
Yeah.
That's a big difference.
And if we never play at Champaign Central,
if we never play there again,
it would not hurt my feelings.
Okay.
Probably, and they don't even play at their high school. It's an off court. I don't know what to call it, but that is probably the worst gym as far as atmosphere.
Whoever designed it, I think, put it in wrong. I think it was supposed to go this way, but they messed up and put it this way because they wanted to make sure all the fans were 80 feet away from them.
Oh,
and then it was too wide open and terrible backdrops and this looks great.
Yeah, and
it's awful.
Yeah, horrible.
Is it a really old gym?
No,
too?
Brand new.
Oh,
it's brand spanking new.
And he's not lying when they're 80 feet off the court.
Well,
it's horrible.
The bleachers.
So it's like a big echo, maybe.
Yeah, and the shooting background, it's just
shooting background's terrible.
And it didn't help that we lost, but
and you had a good place to broadcast.
Yeah, and they put us in a corner. They put us in a corner on the floor, and we had to stand the entire time because we couldn't see the court because we're right behind the bench, right on the edge of the bench. Couldn't see, so we're standing, and it was.
When you watch the game, we were scouting that game, so we had it on and we were watching you guys, and you could see all the way down at the very end, and it looked like everybody was that big.
Yeah, you couldn't zoom in. You zoom in, you get the back of their heads, and horrible.
Yeah,
horrible. Enough about that.
Big 12.
Yeah, Big 12. I know you're a big baseball fan too, and you know, got a lot of Cardinal fans in here. Not you. You're transferring over to the Cubs, Grady.
Ooh.
But we talked about the National League Central, the Cubs, Cards. Not a good year for baseball for Central Illinois fans if you're a Cub or Cardinal fan. Cubs, I like where they're going. They got some pieces. They got some young kids that are very impressive. I'm kind of anxious of what's going to happen at the trade deadline. That could be a big indication on how the Cardinals are looking to the future come trade deadline.
Well, I'm a Cubs fan myself.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, you're
welcome here. You're welcome here.
You guys big Nico Horner fans, are you?
Nico, Swanson.
Yeah.
I like that. Christopher Morel.
Dansby.
Yeah.
Just stick with Bellinger and call it.
Bellinger, but he may not be around next year. It's a one-year deal.
Well, then you got Marcus Stroman. I don't know if the Cubs are going to hold on to some of these guys by the trade deadline.
Jed Hoyer said they're going to be buyers but
they said that before. Then they hit that slump. They went to London and then they lost like 4 games in a row. Now they're 7 games out.
But the thing is, National League Central, it's up for grabs.
Yeah, I mean, Reds will probably slump at some point.
Yeah,
they can't keep going on this tear.
No, they won't.
No.
In Pittsburgh, you saw the tear they went on the beginning of the season. Now they're they're fizzling out to where they need to be. But just overall, I guess disappointing is a good word to use because Cardinal fans, you've been.
Yeah, we're the ones that should be disappointed.
Yeah,
the Cubs should be the one that are like, yeah, we always stink.
Yeah, now you know how we feel the past several years.
It's horrible.
But and the Cardinals, you guys are used to being the big dogs in that division at the top, and now you're awful. It's brutal. And looking through that roster and your farm system, I don't know what you really have to offer come trade deadline if you do sell. You're going to have to move Arenado.
No, I know. That scares me.
The pitcher, what's his name, struggling this year.
Which you want Flaherty?
Flaherty could be on the market.
I really like Flaherty too.
Yeah.
But Miles Mikolas, the starters have been okay. They haven't been that bad. It's the relief. It's 5th, 6th inning on. They've been horrible.
But that's a tough commodity or hard position to fill. Bullpen. Everybody's looking for bullpen.
Everybody's looking for
because you look if you can get through 5 innings, they consider that a good start.
Right.
You're not
a quality start.
Yeah, a quality start. You're not going 7, 8, 9 innings anymore these days. You get through 5, and then you have your setup guys, and then your closer. If you don't have a good 1 or 2 setup guys and a solid closer, I mean, it's difficult.
Where are the Bob Gibsons? Where are the Bob Gibsons of the world? You know what I mean?
They don't exist.
Exactly. And why don't they exist?
Because everybody's on a pitch count, and everybody. It's all analytical.
Yeah. Right.
They're looking they're looking at the numbers.
That guy makes $15,000 a pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not something you ever said about Bob Gibson.
No.
How many complete 10, 11 inning games did that guy throw? You know what I mean? Like animal.
Yeah.
Absolute freak of nature. You'll never see David Ross have a pitcher last maybe more than 6 innings at all. And that's kind of maybe one of the frustrating parts watching the Cubs is there's signs the pitcher's really good, but it's just automatic 6 innings. Then throw out the bullpen, and then everything goes.
I wonder how much that comes down from the GM to a paycheck deal.
Why haven't we had this guy on the show more?
Because he's a Cubs fan.
You're welcome here anytime. You just want to show up between 9 and 10 on a Saturday morning, feel free. Because
maybe if I was more of a morning person, I don't know.
Yeah, see, that's the issue.
Well, none of us are. We just have to roll out. Like last Saturday, man, I slept in. It was great.
It was crazy, wasn't it?
Jim didn't have to deal with this. I'm sure he had a fantastic day. Look at him over there.
Still smiling about it.
Yeah, I don't have to deal with these bozos today and be on the edge of my seat what they're going to say on air.
Well, I just think that the Cardinals, their bullpen's always been an issue over the last few years. It's always been their weakness.
Right.
And so I figure
it's never been addressed.
Mm-hmm.
But you still keep making the playoffs. I'm going to say it again. Mike Shildt made the playoffs.
Yeah. And they just threw him to the side like a rag doll.
Right.
Where's he at now?
Yeah, where is he?
At my house. Heating up a Pop-Tart. Me and Mike Shildt. He's in the basement watching.
Then you lose Mike Maddox, your pitching coach, who's a fantastic pitching coach.
Unbelievable pitching coach.
Yeah.
I know I'm railing on pitchers than I like the pitching coach, but he's been there forever, and he's produced great pitchers.
Well, look what he's doing at Texas.
Yeah.
I couldn't even name a pitcher on Texas. And
I can name Mike Maddox.
Well, and look what he's done. He's got them guys.
I'm tired of it. I'm quitting baseball. I'm going to ignore baseball from now on.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable to watch the Cardinals finally struggle. It's like,
It really is.
You've
It's
been so
so
consistent.
frustrating.
You know, like, you guys can't complain. This is where the Cubs have been dealing with for like
I totally agree.
You know, my wife said that if Wilson Contreras, if he goes to the Cardinals, I'm going to be a Cardinal fan. Her tune has changed.
Oh, I bet it's a million.
But she's still disappointed in the Cubs. You know, I mean, 2016 was just a magical season, and
Oh yeah.
And then the Cubs trade away all their pieces from that team, but you don't hear about that. You don't hear about Chris Bryant. Javi Baez is having his struggles. Rizzo, he's had up and down with the Yankees. But, I mean, the Cubs, as far as the overall view of the team, I think they knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They're getting some young kids coming through. It's just another building process. And I think I heard they're wanting to add another team or two in the majors.
Really? Yeah. So I don't know.
And does that water it down more? I don't know. But, a lot of these international players, look at
Shohei's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Well, as long as you don't make another Tropicana Field. I mean, nobody wants another one Tropicana Field.
Yeah.
Nobody wants another Devil Rays.
100%.
If you bring back the Expos, that would be great. Everybody wants to see the Expos.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to go. I'm with all those Toronto Raptors players. I'm not trying to pay 50% taxes. You know what I mean? Whether I'm an Expo or a Raptor, I'm not trying to get up there and pay 50% of my salary to go to. I don't blame you. That's a tough one.
Yeah, but just the way it is. Well, let's take another quick commercial break, and we'll finish it up here on the Cheap Seats. So stay tuned. We'll be back after these messages.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me,
That was perfect.
but I heard every word.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check NHTSA.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
He was kind of had murky face, and then once they said it, he's
yeah.
It's just no, it's not really worth talking about. Not any worth bringing up, but it was just some stuff back in the day that leaked, and they just ran with it. We'll leave it at that.
Jump, and skip with it.
Yeah,
I love it.
We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Well, welcome back to the Cheap Seats, WLCN 96.3 FM. Got to thank Mr. J-Mac for the the call up. You know, he was on it. I gave him a text yesterday. It's like, hey, what are you doing tomorrow morning? I need a co-host. He's like, let's do it.
What are we waiting on?
And
America's been asking for it.
Well, you know, we unfortunately had to cut you and Zach short the last time you're on.
I talked to you.
It's tough getting guests on here, and I'd like to thank you as well,
Thanks,
Bill.
Billy.
You're welcome anytime because it seems like we've accomplished more today, talking sports, than we ever have, and it's fantastic.
Joe makes it hard because he's never here, and Jake has a very slow cadence. You know, and whatnot.
Yeah.
So you got to fill in. You got to really fill in a lot of the blanks and whatnot.
Yeah. And you know what's really hard to do?
What?
Host a show by yourself.
You know what? The last time you did it, though, I was texting and I thought you did a great job.
It's brutal.
You did. I think I called in the one time too.
Yeah.
I think you did a great job.
Well, you're being way too nice.
Do you talk to Lloyd? I mean,
well, you know, he's like, I got to run the camera. I can't. And then it's like, we're on. And all right, what are we talking about today? And just babbling, and it's tough.
I got to tell you, Lloyd, untapped resource. Lloyd's been great every time you've done this.
Lloyd,
untapped resource.
And the thing is, he knows sports. He's up with it, but I think he wanted to watch me squirm.
As we all did.
And mission accomplished.
Yeah, we enjoyed it.
I'd like to thank you guys for coming in. You know, our guest getter, Joe. You know, he doesn't typically let us know who's on until 5-10 minutes before the show, and Lloyd likes to make up, you know, some good graphics and stuff for YouTube, and you know, it makes it tough for him, but that's why the show's so successful. You never know what you're going to get.
I wonder what hole Joe's on right now. Joe and Tom.
Who's he with?
Tom Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I wonder what hole they're on. I wonder how well they're doing.
Well, let's talk about that. We got the two-man scramble out at the Elks today for the John Welsh tournament. Great fundraiser for a great man.
Yep.
You know, he was involved in Lincoln athletics for years and years.
Big name.
Great person. I know they do a basketball tournament back in February at the junior high levels and younger.
Packs the town.
Yeah. I mean, the town's hopping, and now they're doing a two-man scramble in honor of his name.
A lot of railers.
A lot of railers out there golfing.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about what's going on out there.
My eyes are on the second and third flight. I'm a second and third flight kind of guy. You know what I mean? I'm not the championship flight. That's there. First flight, second, third flight. We got the Brackneys. Coach Brackney and Ben. They're going today. I can't wait to see that. I'm hoping.
Are you going out there?
I told a few people I'd check in out there, so I may roll out there.
Are they going to get you your own golf cart? Because you're not walking it.
No. Fatty doesn't walk. Fatty rides in the golf cart. So I just want a matchup with Bird and Schick. So Brandon Farmer and Matt Schick, same flight. There could be a Bird and Schick versus Coach Brack and Benny Brack.
Oh,
that'd be huge.
We might need to take the camera out there.
We would all take the megaphone it.
If we were wireless, we could.
If we were wireless, we could.
But unfortunately, we don't have thousands of feet of cords.
We got hundreds.
Just use your cell phone.
Well,
okay.
Are you going out there with us? No.
Oh, Jim said no. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a Diamond Reward member now, so we can do a lot of stuff. I park in the right spot.
We
anyway.
can even get a good deal on a room.
It should be free. Second flight. This is a big one. TJ Bree, Jason Garber. I'm excited about that one. But Mark Stolzenberg and John Stolzenberg could be facing off against Matt Stolzenberg and D. Young. So Ubi and Solid versus Big D and Leo. That's a big one.
It's a big one?
That's a big one. I think we need to be there for those.
So explain the flights. Is this kind of grouped like number one flights where all your good golfers are?
Yeah, the championship flight where I do not belong.
Let's say we get a team together.
You and I get a team.
What flight are we?
So here's the championship flight. And I'm going to scroll way
And I don't know why we
down.
haven't yet.
I actually don't know. Why aren't we sponsored?
You got the gym, no.
Did you see that look?
Oh, yeah. I see it all every Saturday.
No. That was a big time no. So we scroll way down.
Oh.
Way down. There's a 7th flight. You and I'd be about in the 8th flight. I did play last night, though. No, there's not an 8, but there would be if you
So they wouldn't even let us play.
Yeah, we're too good. Or bad, whichever one. But that 7th flight, I'm thinking you and I do pretty well. I played last night in a 3-man, and we were 5 under.
I tell you what,
9. So.
I played a couple weeks ago and played the best golf of my life, and these guys, yeah. And I might just end it on that.
We get Billy in? Billy in too?
You golf,
There's
Bill?
6 of us here.
About a 16 handicap. I don't know what that is.
I don't know.
That'd be good enough for the 8th flight at least.
Yeah, 8th flight. Listen, Grady's in the 8th flight. Jim, Lloyd, we're all in the 8th flight.
Okay.
We should rename this Cheap Seats in the 8th flight.
In the 8th flight.
4. Yeah, when we start playing dive bars, that's going to be our band name. Cheap Seats in the 8th. Shabadoo in the 8th flight.
Now, what's Cheap Seats in the 8th flight? We don't want to. No. We don't want to expand that.
I'm going to get a T-shirt made.
That does sound pretty good.
I'm telling you.
You sing? Well, we know you sing. We heard you singing off air, and it was just you have the voice of an angel.
Gorgeous. Yeah. See all the people stopping and looking in?
Saw a lot of people running.
Yeah. Running for tickets.
Thought there was a cat getting strangled in here.
Well, I tell you what, I'm going to go out there. I'll update you. I think you should go with me. Grady's going. Huh?
Well, I might be able to make an appearance.
I think we get our own cart, drive around, heckle people.
So what's a championship flight playing for? Is there like a big grand prize?
Probably. I don't know. I've never been in it. I bet it's like being a Diamond Reward member. I've never been it. I don't know all the awesome perks. Yeah, those guys are good. They're really good. This championship. I know the Calcutta, the championship flight went for $2,625. So a couple of those.
So we got Calcutta involved in this.
Calcutta. It's a huge Calcutta. Yeah, I'm telling you, we're in. I don't know why we haven't done that.
I don't know why we don't have.
It seems like we're missing out on marketing.
I'm sure you can drive it pretty long.
Yeah, I'm fat.
Just get all that. Just darts.
Sometimes it goes.
Sometimes it goes straight.
Yeah.
Key.
There's some guys on this list that they just hit the ball hard. Coach Dom.
Yeah.
Coach Dom. He can golf ball whacker guy. He's in the championship flight with Coach Conradi and Zach Dom, freshman coach, Lincoln Community High School. Lefty. Long lefty. Yeah, looks Eastern European. Pavlik Stenson.
We got Greg in this anywhere?
He smokes it. So I was going to bring that up.
Where's he at? I know he golfs a lot.
Greg golfs a lot, and he does a good job. He golfs.
He's a lefty.
Good. He's a weirdo. Does things righty, but then also does them lefty. Confused. He's confused.
Yeah,
He's a
He'll figure it out.
young man. He's a good coach, but he's confused at life.
Is he with Komnick?
He's with Solid Komnick. Yeah, Ryan Komnick. Greg Alexander, Ryan Komnick. Plus 4.
What flight?
In the 4th flight.
4th? So they're mid-tier.
They're 4 flights better than us, is how I look at that.
Well, you're selling us a little short.
That's how you do it. You sandbag.
We don't know where we're at. We don't know our capabilities
We
yet.
want everybody to think we're the 9th flight. So when we win the 7th flight, you can thank me.
Yep.
It's called cheating, but it's okay. Everybody does it. Sandbag it. We need to sandbag a little bit.
It's a scramble. You can shoot even par. I mean, how hard can it be?
It's 2-man. Right. It calls easy.
Yeah, we'll get in. Jim will sponsor us next
Jim's
year.
going to sponsor us. We're probably going to win. You'll probably double your money. I think that's how it works. It's a no-brainer for the radio station.
Yeah, you get wireless headsets.
We'll get some magnets for our golf carts to sponsor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
We'll get some nice shirts made up.
Oh, Shabadoo in the 8th flight.
Shabadoo in the 8th flight.
This is a thing now. Thank goodness today happened. Well, I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna.
Yeah, and it's a great cause. Good turnout, great golf course, and they probably wouldn't even let us in.
We gotta wear sleeves. I found that out.
You gotta wear sleeves?
Yeah, gotta wear sleeves.
Like just short sleeves?
Short sleeves.
Oh, you can't wear cutoffs. That's hot. Yeah, that's not gonna work for me and you.
Or a tube top out there, men's league.
We'll just wear our Twinkie shirts today.
Yeah,
we dressed alike, and
we're good at this.
I didn't call you about it. You didn't call me. It just happened.
And I showed up.
You showed up. That's key.
Early. We tried to help. We were trying to help set up. You guys are early risers.
Well, everybody shows up early when it's the Hampton.
Is that how that works?
You got to make your waffle, get your breakfast, settled in.
But when you go to Jake's,
we just
3 minutes late.
We roll in just picking the sleep out of our eyes. And,
I understand.
Not Jim. He's up the crack of dawn. He's got things to do.
Well, Jim says you show up at cheap seats time, meaning like 5 minutes before air starts.
Yeah. And that's early. Yeah, Joe usually walks in when the intro's playing, and
he's got a box of donuts.
Yeah, he brings donuts. So
he's a good guy, Joe Ryan. Joseph. Who's coming to Notre Dame with me this year? You coming? You guys in?
I haven't. You know I'm always in.
You get the tickets?
I already got them. Can you believe it? And I already paid for them. I know.
Yeah.
I gotta stop doing that.
I was gonna say,
let me know.
What are the expectations for Notre Dame? I mean, are they going to the playoffs, or
always
that
high.
new coach?
We got new coach, new quarterback. High. This way up here.
Pretty confident, huh?
Way up here. We did just lose a couple commits to Ohio State, but that wasn't my department. I didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah, so
way up here.
But yeah, when is this trip? Are we doing the bus thing? Or are we banned from that bus?
I think we're more banned from that bus. But there's other buses. There's other buses, and
because the last one I went with you,
it was a debacle. But we're alive to talk about it. Everything went well.
Almost didn't even get in the game.
It's all right. I got them all. It's good. I promise.
The Ticketmaster. This is J-Mac, the Ticketmaster. If you need tickets to anything, that's your man.
It's easy.
We're going to throw his number out here online.
Here's how good I am at tickets. So I wanted to order extra tickets for the Pitt game, and I clearly state what sections I want. But I'm stupid, and I only wanted to pay X amount for all these tickets, and they gave me third row behind the parents, and I had to pay for those tickets too. That was a tough bill to swallow. I thought it was a mistake until I went back and realized what I did. I'm not smart, Scott. I'm not a smart person.
Well, I never said you were.
But I got a lot of tickets.
But you get things done.
I got a lot of tickets. Jim, we got lots of tickets for that Pitt game. So, if you guys want to mail in something, I can get you on.
When is this game?
I don't even know. It was the mistake game. It's sometime in October or November.
Well,
I think it's October.
Let me know.
Yeah, we should do a raffle. listeners call in and we can put their name in.
You're not going to make a whole lot of money. We don't get a whole lot of callers. And when we do, something technically goes wrong.
And
we did do a test before, which we always do. And if for some reason we go live, nothing works.
Come here. So, Grady, do you want to get in here real quick? Sit in. You better. Your mother's going to kill me. But I just want to let you know, I had a ton of texts, and I had my same buddy call twice to ask if I could put him on. I told him no.
Put him on?
Hold it up. Put the microphone.
Call him up?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust him.
No.
You coming? All right. Yeah, we better. Hey, there we go. First timer. Take a seat. So, this is why we've had to listen to you guys after we've been playing baseball. A lot of baseball.
A lot of baseball. Grady says baseball's over.
It is.
Which, that eats up a lot of your summer, doesn't it?
All of it. But you know the first thing he said? Our first Saturday off was last Saturday. He said, we get cheap seats. We get to listen live.
Hey.
No, we didn't.
Well, now you're on cheap seats, so you don't have to watch live. You're on live. What grade you in, Grady?
I'm going into 4th.
Going into 4th. And I hear you're quite the basketball player. I know you came over to the camp. Heard some good things about you. My son was out there helping, and he said that, you got a lot of talent, and we're wanting to know when you're moving to Lincoln.
Hopefully soon.
Oh, really?
Grady's got to get a job.
Oh, we'll get him a job.
I am super excited to have Coach Bryson. He loved him. We've had him a bunch of times. He points him out at Summer League. Really excited to have him back. He seems like good freshman basketball head coach material.
No, that's your spot.
No, I think I've worn that spot out. I think it's the broken Barca Lounger spot.
Well, you have a different approach to coaching. You're a little more vocal, and that just prepares them down the road.
Yeah, motivator.
That's a better word. Motivator, not vocal.
A vocal motivator.
Okay.
A thin-skinned, hypocritical, vocal motivator.
And that's all the things you need to
That's a resume right there. Yep. That's a resume. That's pretty
Absolutely.
good.
I'll say, how do you compare with Coach Al? I mean, what's the...
This is my 16th year, and Coach Al, even when Coach Al was, when he started, all my friends played for him to where he is now. He's just transformed. Even in the 16 years, he's hyper intense. So intense, but now he's intense about other things. He's so detail oriented. It's incredible. Nothing escapes him detail wise, but he went from super intimidating when I first got this job to now it's just old hack, and I've been with him a million years and I understand his ins and outs, and he's gonna yell at me regardless, so I just sit there and smile and take it and all right, coach. But he is mellowed out greatly in 16 years.
Well, I mean, seeing Coach Al back in his early days, back in the 90s and late 80s, I mean, he's mellowed out a lot.
Yep. He's smart. That's what the good ones do, right? They adapt. They adapt to the times.
So, yeah.
Well, I figure he just saves it for the locker room.
The halftimes. The halftimes.
Some good halftime speeches.
His halftimes are great. So if he's fired up, and you know when he's fired up because you know what's coming, and he always composes himself. And we always talk as a coaching staff, so Greg and E, and they'll listen, this is what we need to address. And right in the middle of this is what we need to address, he'll just be like, I can't take it. And he'll go in there and he'll just start in. Then he'll come out and compose himself. They'll finish figuring out and then he'll just go right back in. And then E and Greg will go in and they'll fix it. And
it's kind of good cop, bad cop.
It 100% is. Those guys have it down to a science. Coach Greg, E, and then obviously Coach Al. It's a science, and they've got it down, and they know their roles, and they do them perfectly. It's well choreographed every half.
Then J-Mac walks in.
No, I just sit there and drink his Diet Coke. And then now he doesn't drink Diet Coke anymore, so now I can drink them. But before I'd crack one, he'd go, stop drinking my Diet Coke. And scream at me, then they'd go out and play the half. It was great.
Enjoy your Coke.
Yeah.
So, great. What's your favorite sport? Do you have a favorite?
Basketball.
Basketball? Good answer.
Railers, baby.
Yeah.
He understands.
He understands it.
He loves it. That's good. You gotta like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, basketball's always going to be every kid's favorite sport in Lincoln forever.
Yeah.
It's basketball always going to be the biggest sport in Lincoln.
That is what we're hoping. That is what we're shooting for.
Well, guys, it's 10:04. I tell you what, we could be on here another hour easily, but Jim, he's ready to go. He's got his fingers on the button, and he kicks us out at
He's got
10
a
o'clock.
finger on the button.
Bill, I'd like to thank you again for coming on with us. I'd love to have you on again in the future. You have an open invitation. You just shoot us a text when you've got nothing to do, and you can hop on here with us, especially, when high school sports start up, and we can get more detailed and, what's going on. And, we look forward to seeing your face in the gyms and the excellent reporting that you guys do. We really do appreciate it.
No, definitely. It's
really,
a lot of fun.
really good.
Yeah.
I love coming back to Lincoln. So
we love you having you here.
Absolutely. Come on.
Yep, we'll have to get Hardee's on as a sponsor so they can bring us some Frisco melts.
Frisco melts.
It's Hardee's, right?
Close enough.
Or Steak and Shake, whatever, whoever makes them. But J-Mac, thanks for hosting.
Had a blast.
Well, I'll tell you what, whenever we're in a pinch, you're my go-to guy.
Yeah, I'm everybody's fullback,
Yeah, absolutely. Grady, thanks for coming on with us, buddy. Should have got you a headset of your own. I didn't know you were coming. You want to say thanks for tuning in to Cheap Seats? No? All right. Well, I guess that's all right. All right, thanks for tuning in to the Cheap Seats. Next week, we're going to be somewhere, but we know the same time, same channel. So thanks for tuning in. Now you got to say good day.
Okay.
Good day.
The preceding program is a presentation of WLCN 96.3 FM and WLCNonline.com. Live video streaming of this event is made possible in part by WLCN's live stream technology sponsor, Me Realty, located at 602 Keokuk Street in Lincoln and online at merealty.com.